Hi there, my name is Kevin Taylor and this is another episode of Trophy Comics where I'll be showcasing 15 comic books. I've selected 5 DC comics, 5 Marvel comics and 5 independent comics, and I've also got 5 shout outs to give at the end of this video, and I'm going to put them all in alphabetical order. And the first one I'd like to show is this book here, and here we have American Century issue number 9 from DC Vertigo Comics. And this book was released in January 2002 and features a story called Route 66 and is number 75 on Wizard the Comic Magazine's best single issue since you were born. And it's a list of comic books that spanned from 1976 to 2006. And yeah, this is a really cool book. And basically, if you Google Wizard the Comic Magazine's best single issue stories, you'll get a list of 100 books that feature amazing stories and with amazing artwork. And yeah, they're books you can find for really cheap also. So yeah, really neat. And I say this is the first book I want to show. And this is American Century number 9, featuring a story called Route 66. So yeah, really nice. Okay, so that's that issue. Right, the next issue I'd like to show is this one, and here we have Daredevil issue number 505. And I was recently doing some research into a Japanese lucky cat called Maneki Neko, and Maneki Neko is also known as the beckoning cat and is a good luck figure that is thought to bring good luck to its owner and is often found in the entrance of shops. So yeah, I was doing some research online and I couldn't find any comic book appearances, but I did find this comic book, which actually features the first appearance of the Maneki Neko Casino. And I've got a couple of Maneki Neko figurines just there, like. So yeah, really cool. And basically, this book also features a lot of first appearances in this book. And yeah, as I said, this book features the first appearance of the Maneki Neko Casino, and also of a character called Takashi, also Makoto, Izanagi, Bakuto, Shiro, who's Bakuto's henchman, and Jigoku Chu Castle. So there are a number of first appearances in his comic book, and I awarded this book here a Trophy Comics Award for comic book deserving of wider recognition. So yeah, really neat. So yeah, really pleased to have this in my collection, and these are the kind of books I like to find, kind of like under the radar comic books. So yeah, really neat, really neat, and I reckon this book could probably bring people good luck. So yeah, really nice. So yeah, very nice comic book. Okay, right, the next book I'd like to show is this one, and here we have a recent purchase for me, and this is Frank Frazetta's Tales of Science Fantasy issue number 2, and this one features an awesome Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie homage cover. And yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is an off the film Hall of Fame award winner in 2023 for motion picture, and it's a classic horror movie directed by Tobe Hooper, and I've got the Blu-ray just here, like. So yeah, really cool. So yeah, I couldn't resist picking this one up. I like to collect movie homage covers that have with movies that have won awards. So yeah, really neat. So it's a really cool one to add to the collection. And this one features a story about cannibal pirates, and also features sharks. So yeah, really neat. So yeah, pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, that was released by Opus Comics in July 2023. Yeah, really cool. Okay, right, the next one I'd like to show is this one. And here we have The Goon, issue number 20 from Dark Horse Comics. And this one features story and art by Eric Powell, who actually interviewed Burlesque Hall of Famer Roxy Delight to add some authenticity to this issue. And she actually makes a cameo appearance in this issue also. And then later on, Eric Powell gave her a larger starring role in issue number 36, which is this issue. And she also starred in this Goon one-shot here, Theatre Bazaar, which this issue here actually won a Ghastly Award for Best Single Issue One Shot. And these books form a nice trilogy or a nice set. So yeah, really, really neat. So, and I awarded The Goon issue number 20 for a Trophy Comics Award for comic book deserving of wider recognition. So yeah, really, really neat. And if you want to check out some of Roxy Delight, she's probably got some YouTube videos. And yeah, really, really neat. And I also believe there's she's probably on Instagram also. And yeah, really, really cool. And she's a burlesque Hall of Famer. So, and she's won lots of awards, a lot of burlesque awards, dancing awards. So yeah, really, really cool. And yeah, very, very nice set of books to own. I'm really pleased to have in my collection. So yeah, that's The Goon number 20. And all those issues were released by Dark Horse Comics. So yeah, very, very nice. Okay, right, the next book I have to show is a DC comic book and Vertigo. And this is Lucifer, issue number 26. And this book features a story called Purgatorio, part 2 of 3, and is number 87 on Shelf Dust's 100 Best Single Issues Comics list. So it's another list for comic books you can Google, and that's Shelf Dust's 100 Best Single Issues Comics list. So yeah, and this book was number 87 on the list. So yeah, really, really neat. And it's another book I'm pleased to have in my collection. So yeah, and I'm going to be collecting all those Shelf Dust 100 issues, as well as the Wizard 100 issues. Okay, well, the next book I'd like to show is The Monkey Prince, issue number 5, with a really cool Jaws movie homage cover. And this book here features a story called Big Stick Energy, part 1 of 4. And he's a Trophy Comics Award winner for awesome movie homage cover for Bernard Chang. And it's got a story written by Gene Yuen Yang, who's also wrote Superman Smashes the Klan. That's won awards. And this character here, or comic book, was inspired by the classic 16th century Chinese novel Journey to the West, featuring the Monkey King. And yeah, Jaws is a massive classic summer blockbuster movie directed by Steven Spielberg. And it's a really iconic movie that has won numerous awards, including a People's Choice Award for favourite film in 1976. And when it comes to summer blockbusters, they don't come much bigger than Jaws. I think Jaws was like the original summer blockbuster. So yeah, really, really cool. And yeah, this one's got a really, really cool Jaws movie homage cover that I've awarded a Trophy Comics Award for awesome movie homage cover for Bernard Chang. And when it comes to like, there's actually only one copy of this book on the CGC census, and there's currently one listed on eBay if anyone's interested. And basically, I was thinking about picking up myself, but when it comes to graded comic books, I actually like to collect graded comic books with complete stories in. So even though I do love this cover, I'm not interested in sort of getting this one graded, but someone out there might well be. So that's why I thought I'd mention it. And as I said, there's currently one available to buy on eBay, and it's the only one on the census. So yeah, really, really neat. So that's that book. Okay, well, the next one I'd like to show is this one, and here we have a graded comic book. And here we have Jim Henson's Muppet Babies, issue number 1. And this book was released by Marvel Star Comics in May 1985. And Muppet Babies won a Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Animated Program. And also, Muppet Babies also was number 1 on Watch Mojo's top 10 cartoon series of the 80s. Like beating out the likes of G.I. Joe and Transformers. And yeah, it's a really cool video. So you can check that video out on YouTube. And that's Watch Mojo's top 10 cartoon series of the 80s. So yeah, this is a book I'm really pleased to have in the collection. And this book also features the first appearance of Skeeter, who is actually, who is this character here? Who's actually Scooter's tomboyish twin sister. So yeah, really, really neat. And also I'd like to say about this book, there is like a really rare, this book is really hard to find in high grade. There's in a Canadian variant. So yeah, do keep an eye out for a Canadian variant of this book, because it's super hard to find in high grade and they're pretty rare. So yeah, this is a really, really cool book, and I'm really pleased to have this in my collection. So yeah, this is just a regular cover. It's not even a newsstand even, but yeah, really, really cool book and a cool series. So yeah, very, very nice. Okay, so that's Muppet Babies issue number 1. Okay, right, the next one I'd like to show is this one. And here we have the New 52, Future's End, issue number 0. And this book featured on CBR's Best Free Comic Book Day original story list. And it was a list of like 15 comic books, like free comic book day issues. And I awarded this comic book a Trophy Comics Award for more value for money comic book. So yeah, really, really neat cover featuring Batman Beyond. So yeah, very, very nice indeed. And of course I'll be collecting that CBR's Best Free Comic Book Day original stories, top 15 books. And yeah, so I'll be showcasing more of those issues in future videos. So yeah, very, very nice indeed. And this is the New 52 Future's End Free Comic Book Day 2014 issue number 0. So yeah, very, very nice indeed. That was number 4 on CBR's Best Free Comic Book Day original story list. And it's another list that you can Google as well. So yeah, really, really neat. Okay, so that's that book. Okay. Right, the next book I'd like to show is this one. Here we have Robin Hood, Goldilocks, released by Zenescope. And Robin Hood won a Zenny Award for Best Character of the Year in 2022. So yeah, really, really neat. And this is a Robin Hood one-shot issue. And I've got a checklist of Robin Hood comic books. And this is one of the books I own. And I'll be showcasing all the other Robin Hood books that I own in the future. I've previously showed some other Robin Hood's comics in previous videos that I've done. So yeah, this is another one off my checklist. So yeah, Robin Hood, Goldilocks, and from Zenescope Entertainment. And this was released in July 2021. So yeah, really, really neat. And as I said, Robin Hood won a Zenny Award for Best Character of the Year 2022. So yeah, really, really cool. Okay, right, the next one I'd like to show is this one. And here we have a horror comic book. It's a Halloween Comic Fest free comic book day issue that came out in October. And basically, this one features a classic Junji Ito story. And Junji Ito is a Japanese horror master who's highly acclaimed. And I awarded this a Trophy Comics Award for promotional comic and a Trophy Comics Award winner for more value for money comic book. So yeah, this one issue here actually has a full complete story that was actually handpicked by Junji Ito, and it's a really cool promotional issue featuring a manga story, black and white manga art. But you actually read this book from back to front, so the cover is actually on backwards. So the back cover is the front cover, and then you read the comic book backwards. But yeah, this is a really, really neat manga story. And yeah, really, really cool book. And it's a highly recommended book, this comic book. So yeah, really, really nice Halloween Comic Fest free comic book day. Yeah, Shiver by Junji Ito. So yeah, very, very nice indeed. Okay. Okay, right, the next one I'd like to show is another graded comic book. And here we have Superman, Red Sun, number NN. And this book actually collects the 3-issue miniseries. And when it comes to graded comic books, I like to have graded comic books that feature complete storylines. So yeah, this is why I picked this book up. And there were very few on the CGC censors of this comic. There's only 2 9.8s, 1 9.2 and 1 9.0 that's signed. So this has a really super low censors. And this book was number 2 on Ranker's best standalone or one-shot storylines list. And this book was also an Eisner nominee for Best Limited Series in 2004. So yeah, really, really neat. And this is, of course, this is like a trade paperback collection of the 3 issues. And also DC also done like a Superman Red Sun movie. And basically the story is basically an Elseworld story where it's like a what if Superman actually landed in Russia instead of landing in America. So yeah, really, really neat. So yeah, pretty cool comic book, and I'm really pleased to have this in my collection. So yeah, that's that one. Okay. Well, the next one I'd like to show is this one. And here we have another graded comic book. And here we have 2001, A Space Odyssey by the King Jack Kirby. And this issue is released in December 1976. So it's a Bronze Age comic. And Jack Kirby was actually handpicked by director and producer Stanley Kubrick, who directed the movie here, like 2001 A Space Odyssey. And he'd done a movie adaptation, which was like an oversized Treasury edition. But then later on, Jack Kirby did like this 2001 regular series here that later on introduced like Machine Man. But yeah, this is a really, really cool book. And the reason why I picked this book up, and I found this book for like £60. And basically, which was an absolute bargain, as this one is actually a UK price variant. And the thing I like about this book is the fact that 2001 A Space Odyssey was actually directed in the UK. And it was made at MGM British Studios and there's Shepperton Studios. So I thought having a UK price variant to go with a UK made movie is really cool. And the UK price variant has very few on the CGC census, and there are very few that are like high grade. And yeah, this is a really, really nice book that I'm really pleased to add to my collection. And yeah, really, really neat. And the thing about UK price variances, I think it is probably more around like the Bronze Age. Marvel actually printed the UK versions before shipping them out before the American versions. So the covers on the UK price variants tend to be much brighter, the colours. So yeah, really, really neat. And I'm really pleased to have this in my collection. So yeah, really, really cool. So yeah, and I've actually got a Funko Pop for that for the movie as well. So just there. So yeah, really, really neat. Okay, so that's 2001 A Space Odyssey, issue number 1. Okay, really, really cool. And 2001 A Space Odyssey is a multiple award-winning movie, and they're a classic science fiction film. So yeah, really, really neat. And that was a super bargain for £60. And it's even got white pages. So yeah, really, really neat. Okay, right, the next one I'd like to show. Yeah, that was released by Marvel Comics, of course. The next issue I'd like to show is another Marvel comic book. And here we have Ultraman, The Rise of Ultraman, issue number 1. And this book here, I awarded a Trophy Comics Award for inspiring comic book cover for Alex Ross. As basically this issue's cover art features on the Birth of Ultraman Blu-ray cover or case. So yeah, I'd awarded this comic book an award. So yeah, really, really nice Alex Ross cover. So yeah, and that I've awarded a Trophy Comics Award to. And I actually picked up a Funko Pop here the other day for really cheap as well in a local record shop for £5.99. This is really, really neat. And yeah, I love finding like Funko Pops that have award-winning kind of like ties, comic book ties. So yeah, really, really neat. So yeah, very, very nice indeed. And I've also got like a Funko Pop over that side actually for the Shiver comic book I showed earlier. And this is the character that actually features in that Shiver story. So yeah, so I thought I'd mention that just in case I didn't mention it before. Okay, so yeah, really, really cool. Okay, so I only got 2 more books to show now. Okay, so that's The Rise of Ultraman, issue number 1. And I awarded that book a Trophy Comics Award for inspiring comic book cover for Alex Ross. So really, really neat. Okay. Right. As I said, I've got 2 more books to show. So this is the first of 2. Okay. Here we have The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, issue number 7. And this is kind of like a choose your own adventure comic. And this book, I awarded a Trophy Comics Award for comic book worthy of a reprint. And this book actually had like a Halloween Comic Fest reprint issue that I awarded a Trophy Comics Award for more value for money comic book. And Squirrel Girl is become like a cult character, and her comic books like tended to have like a very low print run. So if you can find any of like the 1 in 25 variants, and especially for cheap, I recommend picking them up, because Marvel's paper quality isn't the greatest and are prone to like colour rub. So yeah, and yeah, it's pretty printed on pretty flimsy paper really. So yeah, I do recommend keeping an eye out for any Unbeatable Squirrel Girl issues. And yeah, basically this is a really cool one that with a standalone story, and it's quite like a choose your own adventure story. And this book was highly recommended by Den a Geek. So yeah, really, really cool. And as I said, I awarded this comic for Trophy Comics Award for comic book worthy of a reprint, and the Halloween Comic Fest reprint I awarded a more value for money comic book. So yeah, and as I said, Squirrel Girl has developed a cult following, especially amongst girls like. So yeah, really, really cool book, and a really good, cool series to keep a look out for in those back issue bins. So yeah, really, really neat. Okay, well, the next book I'd like to show, and this is the last book I've got to show in this video. And here we have Vampirella, issue number 5 from Dynamite Entertainment. And this one's a really neat one. They awarded a Trophy Comics Award for inspiring comic book cover for Stanley Artgerm Lau. And this issue's art actually inspired a collectible statue. So yeah, it's really, really neat. And this issue is also a preview cover for issue number 6. We actually get to see like more of Vampirella in her outfit. So yeah, really, really neat. And yeah, really, really cool. Which leads into my shout outs. So the first shout out I'd like to give is to the Collectible Queen, or Collectibles Queen, on Instagram. And basically her logo on Instagram actually has this cover on her logo. So that's the reason why I want to give her a shout out first. And also ladies first, of course. And the second shout out I'd like to give out is to Craven Comics. I'd also like to give a shout out to Comic Book Chip, I Am Rhymes World, which is spelled IAMRYMESWORLD. And also I'd like to give a shout out to Grab Those Keys. So yeah, that's the episode for today. So okay, well, take care everyone till the next video, and I'll see you later everyone. Be safe out there. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Okay, thank you, bye.